Hello everyone. Today is 16th April 2020 and it's a flat day for the market. Market has been going up for the last week and it went down yesterday on Monday too, and today also it's very flat. And there is a strange trend in the market. So S&P 500 was flat today, Dow Jones was flat today, Nasdaq went up 1%, TSX was flat, and VIX is again back into that 40 plus range. So VIX is again the fear index. I love to track VIX because when VIX goes below 20, that's when the market starts behaving rationally. But right now VIX is above 40, so markets are irrational and the worst is not over yet. Today we are going to discuss about financial sector and value investment stocks. Three stocks we are going to discuss today. Wells Fargo, which I believe is an excellent value stock right now. Bank of Nova Scotia, which is again a value stock, and TD, which I believe has mix of value and growth both right now. Now, what is value investing? Value investing is focusing on how much money can you lose rather than how much money you can make. So it doesn't focus on growth, it focuses on what price are you paying, what is the relative growth to that price, and what is the dividend. So the main focus of value investing is dividend, and I'm a big believer in value investing. I'm a growth investor too, so 30-40% of my portfolio is focused towards growth, but 60% of my portfolio is focused towards value. And these financial sector is a great sector right now if you are a value investor. So let's talk more about it. So first is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a bank holding company with assets of around 1.9 trillion, loans of more than 950 billion, and deposits of around 1.3 trillion. So Wells Fargo holds somewhat of 90% of assets of the holding company. The firm has three business segments: community banking, wholesale banking, and wealth and investment management. So it is mostly focused on retail investors rather than institutional investors or institutional lenders. So retail lending, it's the main focus. Wholesale banking provides banking and financial services to commercial customers, but only accounts for 30% of the revenue. So more revenue for these banks comes from retail, that is individual lending, than commercial lending. So it is not like your JP Morgans or Morgan Stanleys, which focus more on commercial lending. So it is more focused on retail or individual lending. So what are the key features for this stock? It is trading near its 52-week low, which is around $27. It has shown a 50% drop since its top. Now, key features: Warren Buffett is an investor in Wells Fargo. He holds around 8% of Wells Fargo. So he has lot of holdings, means 8% of Wells Fargo stock is held by Warren Buffett. The great part about this Wells Fargo company, it has a dividend yield of around 7%, and average growth of dividend over last 5 years has been 7%. So if you consider that, if you put 100% $100 into this stock, if you buy this company, if you put $100 into the company, it is on a normal years, not right now because right now the times are tough, but on normal years it gives you back $7 in terms of dividend, and that dividend grows each year by 7%. So if you calculate, if you invest right now and the things go back to the way they were in, let's say, next 2 years, then 9 years from then your money will be returned back to you only in dividends without any capital appreciation. So that's extra. Dividend itself will return your capital back in 9 years, and that's an excellent thing. That is what value investors look for. So if you remove your money, if you remove your capital in form of dividends, then whatever is left, it grows. So that's an excellent thing. It is trading right now at all-time quarterly PE low. So price earning ratio, if you consider quarterly PE, if you consider, it is trading at all-time low. Return on equity is modest, hasn't shown much growth. The company is not about growth, it's about value. So return on equity is a modest of 7.4. Book value is 39, so this company is trading below its book value. This is also a great value sign. Whenever companies trade below their book value, there is great margin of safety. You can read the book that Warren Buffett follows, Value Investing by Benjamin Graham, and that book is completely about margin of safety. Margin of safety is possibility of losing money in the long run. So possibility of losing money right now in this company is very low. Cash per share is positive and it is $1.53. So it's not that high, but it's not too low too. So that's a great sign. So if you believe in value investing, if you believe in Warren Buffett's way of investing, this stock looks to be a great investment below a price of 27. Personally, I am going to invest in this stock below a price of 27. I am waiting for it to fall a bit more, and then I'm going to buy it once. Means I hold some Wells Fargo. When it was 27 few weeks back, I bought it, but I'm going to invest more if it drops below 27. The next company that we are talking about is a Canadian bank. It is Bank of Nova Scotia. It is one of the Canada's big five banks. It provides retail, corporate and investment banking services, and it is focused in it has great presence in Canada and Latin America. Its main operating arm, Scotia Bank, has nearly 1,000 domestic branches and 1,800 offices in different countries. So it has great presence in Canada as well as Latin America. The thing that makes it different from banks like RBC is 65% of its revenue is loans revenue derives from retail lenders. So retail lending contributes around 60-65% of its revenue. So that's it, more or less an individual's bank rather than a corporate commercial bank. So commercial lending is very low. It has presence in also Australia, UK, India, China, etc. But mainly it focuses on Canada and Latin America. And Latin America hasn't been hit as hard as European countries or like American countries in terms of cases. Brazil is hit, but other than that, other Latin and Central American countries haven't been hit much. It is 30% down from its top. It went to its 52-week low and then it bounced back again. Dividend yield is again 7%, which is same as Wells Fargo. Growth of dividend is 6%, which is 5 years average is around 6%. So if you consider again value investing, money in this bank can be returned back in 11 years only through dividends. I'm not considering even capital appreciation, and that's what value investing is all about. Getting your capital back in terms of dividends. So 11 years and you're break even if it grows by the same rate that it has been, means in terms of dividends. Price earning is again at all time a monthly low of 7.32. It was little bit below 2 means few weeks back, but right now also it's a decent price. Return on equity is higher than Wells Fargo, so there is more potential growth and more potential risk too. So it's around 13.3. It has very low NPAs, so non-performing assets or loans that have been defaulted right now are very low. They may shoot up, but it has great level, means the non-performing assets are right now so low that it can take a brunt of non-performing assets without being bothered about. So NPAs are 0.5%. That's really great. NPAs less than 1% are always what we look at. Book value is around 52. So great margin of safety. It is trading below its book value right now. Means it's near to that. So great margin of safety once again. And price that I am looking to buy it at, you don't have to invest, or this is just an educational show, but I'm going to buy this stock, Bank of Nova Scotia, 48 and below. But I'm looking for a 5+ year investment horizon in all these stocks, because value investing, you have to give it time. They don't rise overnight like growth investing. So price to book value, means price I'm looking at is around $48 and below. The next is also a Canadian bank. It's a mix of growth as well as value right now. So the Toronto Dominion Bank, that are also known as TD, conducts general business through banking branches and offices across Canada and overseas. It has major presence in US and Canada. So it doesn't have much presence from in Latin America. So main markets for it, 60% of revenue is Canada, 30% of its revenue is US. Again, retail lending contributes a lot. 60% of its revenue is small, means it's individual lenders, so not corporates. What has it done? 24% drop from its top, and it is currently trading at 55. Dividend yield of around 5.74, but the dividend has shown massive growth in last 5 years. Average growth in dividend has been around 9.41%. So money can, again, if I invest in this company right now, based on value investing, money could be returned back to me in 11 years. So that's again a great sign. Non-performing assets are really good. They're one of the best in Canadian banking industry. So it has a lot of leeway. It is 0.2. For Scotiabank, it was 0.5. So it is way better than Scotiabank's. So it handles its risk very well. Return on equity is higher than Scotiabank again, and even higher than Wells Fargo, 15.1%. So potential growth is again built into it. So it could potentially grow too. So along with value, it has some potential for growth. Cash per share, amazing at $28. Book value is 45. So again, there is a potential loss of $10 right now, looking at margin of safety. But again, not very bad. Quarterly PE is near its low. Monthly PE it's not low, but quarterly PE, if you look at it, it is near its all-time low. Price to look at is, the price I am looking at is 52 and below. The moment it goes 52 and below, I'll be looking to invest in TD.